Hello, Ole Miss, and welcome back to The Sip. Today is a very special episode because it's going to kick off our little mini-series about financial literacy. It's going to be the first episode. Topic is going to be credit cards, and Ole Miss has some of the premier departments for business and accounting, so what better place to do a financial literacy series than at Ole Miss? And who better to have to talk to than the Dean of the School of Business, Dr. Ken Cyree. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Lucas. I'm doing very well. I hope you are too. Thank you for having me.
Of course, it's a pleasure. Well, we're just going to jump right into it. Starting off, could you just tell us, do college students need credit cards?
The short answer is yes, but with a strong caveat. And that caveat is that they use them responsibly. So if a student can get a credit card and help build their credit and then pay that credit card off every month, that's a fantastic way to do things. If you charge, for example, for things you're already buying, like groceries or gas or something like that, and then pay that credit card off, that's a great way to build credit. The problem occurs when students get it and then pay for things that they really didn't want or need, but it was an impulse purchase, for example. So that burger on the square for $30 might end up costing you $200 after you pay interest on it for years and years and years. So if you're responsible and you're diligent, you don't necessarily have to have a budget, but you do need to have a plan, and you do need to know what you're spending your money on. Then I think it's perfectly acceptable for people to get credit cards.
So you need a little bit of willpower there.
That's right. You need to be aware of what your weaknesses are perhaps and stay away from those. For example, I'm not allowed to go into a golf store unsupervised. But other than that, I think it's a great thing for people if you're already buying groceries and gas and things of that nature, that you can go ahead and use credit cards, and that will help build your credit and create that financial discipline so you can later on use that instrument when you need it the most. You also see a lot of people will actually get credit cards for emergency use. There's nothing wrong with that either, but the problem is that a lot of people believe emergency is it's Thursday night and I need to go out to the restaurant or buy something that I think I want. And then they don't have the discipline to pay attention and not overspend. And that's the killer, really, is overspending. So if you can be disciplined and use it for things you're already purchasing, then it's a great way to go. And if not, you need to know yourself and have some constraints around the way that you spend and the way that you do your financial operations, really, as a college student.
All right, very good. And in the simplest terms, could you just tell us what is an interest rate, APR, and just all of the finer details that might not be as clear to someone who's just gotten a brand new credit card?
Sure. The way that credit cards work is they charge you for the balance you don't pay off. So the secret is paying off the balance every month, and then your interest rate is zero. So if you carry a balance, so suppose you owe $2,000 and you pay $1,000, then they're going to charge you interest on that $1,000. If the stated rate or nominal rate is 18%, that's 1.5% per month. But when you compound that out, and we can of course teach you that in a class how to do that in accounting or business or the finance department or anywhere you want, then all of a sudden you're really paying 19.56%. So that 19.56 is your APR. It's your real rate that you're paying, even though the stated rate or nominal rate is 18% or 1.5% per month.
All right. And what are some just potential alternatives to credit cards that can help students build their credit?
There are several things they can do. In some cases, debit cards count for your credit scores. Probably more commonly what we see are things like car payments or house payments, or maybe you had to buy a refrigerator or something like that on credit. Those revolving credit arrangements are also good to build credit, and a lot of people are going to need a car or something like that, and they can certainly go down that path to help build credit. But the bottom line is, if you spend less than you make, no matter how much you make the rest of your life, that's the secret path to financial success. It is the golden rule, no matter how much money you make. I do a talk here at the university where you've got famous people, and these famous people range from Nicolas Cage to Mike Tyson, who've gone bankrupt because they spent more than they made, and they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you have to be disciplined in what you're doing, and if you do that, you'll find financial success, and that will increase your happiness.
All right. Well, what are just some other tips and advice that you might give concerning credit cards, or just anything else you want to tell the people before we sign off today?
Well, I do think that credit cards are part of a great financial plan, and the earlier that credit cards can become a part that you use, not necessarily to fund emergency spending, so-called, right? That's really not an emergency, but rather a tool that you use and you can be disciplined, that will translate into all of your financial life. And if you do it properly, for example, young people when they graduate college need to start saving for retirement. And the earlier you do that, the better off you are. Even if it's $20 a month, that's better than zero. And your future self will thank you for that. So if you're disciplined in all of your financial areas, and especially credit cards, then that will lend you the ability to do really, really well in all of your financial matters. And then that will make you a much happier person and much wealthier person over time.
Right, so all you college students down there, you need to make sure you start saving now, right?
That's absolutely right.
Okay, well, once again, Dean Cyree, thank you so much for joining us today. That's all I have for you. Is there anything else you want to say before we sign off?
I think you should start early, save often, and do all that you can and be disciplined. If you do those things, I think it will make a huge difference in your life. So congratulations to all of you students watching this because you're interested in financial literacy. Go Rebs and Hotty Toddy.
All right, well, thank you one more time for coming out. And guys, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe to the Ole Miss YouTube channel if you guys want to stay up to date with all the new episodes coming out. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Peace.